Hello, it's your boy Davidoff and welcome back to Movie Monday. So this week is about Code 8, a Netflix movie. This one stars the Amell cousins. They're not brothers, apparently they're cousins, but it stars Robbie Amell. Honestly, I don't remember any of the character names, just some of the actors. I don't remember any of the character names. I watched this like an hour ago and I've forgotten already all the character names. Is that a bad thing for the movie? It probably is. But anyway, it's about mutants. So it's not connected to anything, it's just a standalone thing. But it's about mutants that have powers that exist as a minority in a state in America. I mean, in general they exist anyway, but it focuses on one state in particular. And in this state, there's drones that can kill these mutants. So if these mutants use their powers or resist, police can use brute force on them and kill them. So it's quite a oppressive society for these mutants. And because of this, a lot of mutants are driven into crime as well. The police are abusing them. There are people that are not giving them jobs, etc. So they turn to crime essentially. Some of them do anyway. Some of them stay clean, but some of them, like the main character, Robbie Amell's character, turn to crime. So he's picked up by this criminal gang, and the guy who picks him up is Stephen Amell, the guy who plays Green Arrow. He drives this van with his crew, and he invites Robbie Amell's character, the mutant, who has electric powers, to take part in heists. So it becomes a heist movie. Like, it starts off like in a way like an X-Men movie. It's not X-Men, but you know, it's mutants, oppressed mutants. That's what the X-Men are. So this isn't like, there's no X-Men team in this. Like, imagine the X-Men without the X-Men, essentially. That's in a way what this is, because there are mutants around and people hate them. People are scared of them because of what they might do, what they might potentially do, and people just don't trust them or like them. Very similar to X-Men, except there's no X-Men. So there's no team to help the peace, to help the peace exist. So these mutants are just on the side of the road looking for jobs, and Robbie Amell's character gets picked up to do these heists. So at heart, he's a good guy. But the reason he turns to this criminal gang is because his mother's sick. His mother's really sick, and he needs the money to help her out. And he meets someone who could potentially heal her. That's sort of a plot point. I'm not going to go too much into it because it's a spoiler. But there are mutants that can heal. So, but he's not in it for that. He's in it to like get money, to try and raise money, to try and save his mum. So he's desperate. He's not getting enough jobs, not getting enough money. His mum is getting fired from her jobs because of who he is. Her son being a mutant has an effect on her life, and because of that, he's got to turn to crime to try and help her out. So that's his motivation. But it turns out that this criminal gang is not just stealing money, it's also much deeper than that. There's a kingpin. There's a kingpin who is quite evil. He's a mutant as well, and he runs this sort of big criminal gang. He's not Stephen Amell, it's someone else who's the proper boss of these operations, and this guy's a nasty piece of work, and Robbie Amell's character finds this out, and there are definitely some moral conflicts in this from certain characters. From the cops as well. Most of the cops in this do not trust mutants at all. Like, they'd kill one in an instant. But there's one cop, he's played by Han from Fast and Furious. That's how I remember him. I don't even know the actor's name now. I've forgotten the actor's name, don't know the character's name. But Han from Fast and Furious is in this. He's a cop. And I'm not going to say actually, it's a spoiler. But for a particular reason, he has a bit more sympathy towards mutants. He sees them more as humans. He still arrests them, you know, he still takes them down, but he has more sympathy. He has more sympathy towards these mutants because he kind of sees humanity in them, is the point. And I like that. This movie doesn't have much depth. It's 90 minutes long. There's not much time to have depth in it, but I think from this character, from the cop, there is some depth there. There's some depth to Robbie Amell's character. The rest of the characters, there's not really any depth to them. I think they play their roles pretty well. I think the acting is fine. It's good enough for what it is. It's just a heist action movie, except some people have powers. That's basically, like, it's a heist movie. For me, it's a heist movie more than anything. The difference is there's mutants, and there's police that are hunting mutants down. Other than that, it's a heist movie that involves mutants. But I do like it for what it is. I don't love it. It's not a masterpiece, not even close. It's nothing that special. But for a stay-at-home TV movie that's 90 minutes long, in terms of the action and how it goes, it's not too bad. But the weakest part is definitely the ending. Like, this movie is enjoyable for the most part, but the ending, it's not a bad ending. Like, story-wise, it's not a bad ending, but it's very anticlimactic because there's so much action in it. So you just feel like they're going to build up to something, and they haven't really built. I mean, they build up to something, and something happens. Something happens with a heist. There's a few heists in this movie, and the last heist, there's something happens. Then events happened after that, and just the way things end, it just feels a bit rushed and premature, in a way. Obviously, it's 90 minutes long, so there's only so much you can do. It's even less than that, actually. It was 90 minutes, but 10 minutes for credits, so even less than 90 minutes. It's quite short for any action movie, any heist movie in general. That's pretty damn short. I know it's only Netflix, but still, that's pretty damn short for any movie, unless it's animated, obviously. Even animated movies make longer movies than 80 minutes. But the point is, the ending felt rushed. I felt like they could have taken a bit less from the earlier parts of the movie and added more onto the end, because the ending for me just felt really anticlimactic and a bit rushed, and certain characters just, the endings they get are just, they just happen too quickly. It's not that they got bad endings, it just happens very quickly. Things just happen, you know. Towards the end, something gets, I'm not going to say anything actually, but something happens, and then like 10 other things happen, and you're just like, okay, that's the movie then. It just ends, you know what I mean? It just ends, it just resolves everything so quickly after building things up, and it just ends. It feels like it should have been longer. I felt like there was more that could have been in this movie to make it better. That's just my thoughts. Obviously, Netflix movie, limited budget compared to actual like cinema movie, but still, I would have wanted more. That's my main downside. As a rating, for me, it is a 6.5 out of 10. That sounds harsh, that sounds like it's bad. It's certainly not bad. If you like a fun time for 90 minutes and some good action, you'll get it out of this. Not 90 minutes though, it's a lot shorter than that, to be fair, if you take a bit out of the finale as well. But it's like, it feels like half a movie. It feels like half a movie. It's enjoyable, but it kind of feels like half a movie. I feel like there should be more to it. And I heard there might be sequels. I don't know if that's the case, but the concept was good. The premise was good. I just felt like they could have built into it a lot more. But you know what? I think it was worth watching. I enjoyed it to an extent. You might like it too. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and see ya.